in this room than anywhere else.
It's on your radio right now.
Do you know how to pop that coochie for a Greene?
There you go. It's the world's most dangerous morning show.
Got the cameras, I'm motherfucker.
Greene, what kind of show is this? My son listens to this show.
The Breakfast Club.
With DJ Envy, the captain of this bitch.
With Angela Yee, the only one who can keep these guys in check.
Charlamagne the God. I'm a lovable asshole. And this is the Breakfast Club, bitches.
Good morning, USA! Yo 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 yo.
Good morning, Angela Yee.
Good morning, DJ Envy.
Charlamagne the God.
Peace to the planet. It's Tuesday.
Yes, it's Tuesday.
How y'all feeling out there?
I feel amazing.
Yeah.
I could finally breathe again. I think the last 7 days I had a cold.
You still sound sick.
And I feel a lot better than I was before. I couldn't breathe. It was nasally. I was coughing. It wasn't COVID. I kept testing myself, but
Yeah, we talked about that behind the scenes because I had the same thing. But I be getting like seasonal bronchitis, and so like I went to the doctor yesterday to get like the pump and the steroid.
they stick it down your throat for the bronchitis?
No, they don't stick nothing down your throat. Okay.
I'm asking. I don't know.
No, they just. I mean, if you've had bronchitis before, you kind of know, and then they can check to see if like your I guess your lungs are inflamed, maybe.
Really?
Whatever it is. They gave me the pump yesterday and the steroid because I was feeling the same way the past couple of weeks, nasally, coughing for no damn reason.
Yeah.
Thinking it's COVID, doing all these COVID tests. It's not COVID, but you know.
You know, I never had allergies until the pandemic. I've never had
Until
allergies.
you got the vaccine. Say it.
It might be.
Say it.
But
You know,
say
when
it.
I was
Say
younger,
it.
I had allergies and I had bronchitis, but I don't have any of that now.
No, I've
Well,
never
I think
had
bronchitis
allergies.
never goes away.
No, it
they
doesn't.
say.
It doesn't.
But I haven't had any symptoms or anything since I was like a teenager.
Bronchitis is like herpes, I guess. It pops up on you. You know, you get outbreaks from time to time. I guess.
And when they tested, they found out I was allergic. Oh boy, forget it.
What are you
to
allergic to?
Glizzies?
Wood.
You mean allergic to wood?
That was like I'm allergic to certain types of wood.
Okay.
See, I knew it.
That's cute.
That's why you get sick in here.
Oh my!
I like that.
Goodness.
What are you saying?
All right.
That's crazy.
All right.
That is crazy. What are you saying?
Royce the
What are
5'9"
you
will be joining
saying,
us this
bro?
morning. I'm just telling you.
This guy is wow.
How about wow? I'm
This
just
guy just
telling
said he
you.
had monkeypox. This guy is crazy.
Not
This
no
guy
damn-
is crazy.
Oh my goodness.
This guy's crazy.
Royce the 5'9" will be joining us this morning.
This guy is wild.
Yes, Detroit's own.
Detroit's on, so we're gonna kick it with Royce the 5'9". Of course, you know Royce was signed to Eminem at one time, part of Slaughterhouse, is a lyricist when it comes to this rap ish. So
He
we're
got
gonna
an
be talking to
artist
him.
now too. Courtney Bell.
Courtney Bell.
Yeah, Courtney Bell.
So we're gonna be talking to
Courtney's
them
gonna be here with him.
in a little bit. And then we got front page news. What we talking about?
Man, let's talk about the woman Nicole Lorraine Linton. She's being charged with 5 counts of vehicular manslaughter. If you guys saw that video in the LA area that crashed that killed 5 people, including a pregnant woman, we'll talk about her in court. 6 counts of murder and 5 counts of vehicular manslaughter.
My goodness. All right, we'll get into that next. It's the Breakfast Club. Morning, everybody. It's DJ Envy, Angela Yee, Charlamagne the God. We are the Breakfast Club. Let's get in some front page news. Where we starting, Yeezy?
All right, well, let's start with Nicole Lorraine Linton. She's 37 years old. She is now being charged with 6 counts of murder and 5 counts of vehicular manslaughter. You saw this video that went viral. The car just sped through the light going over 100 miles per hour and plowed into multiple vehicles in Windsor Hills. And here is what the Los Angeles County District Attorney had to say about her sentence.
Tragic crash that killed 6 people and injured 6 others. Ms. Nicole Linton will be charged with six counts of murder and 5 counts of gross vehicular manslaughter. Preliminary investigation shows that Linton may have been traveling at approximately 90 miles an hour when she ran through a solid red light. If convicted as charged, Ms. Linton faces up to 90 years.
That's how it always is, right?
Oh,
the person
man.
that did the speeding or the drunk driver or the person that broke the law, they live, but everybody else dies.
She was hospitalized with moderate injuries, but the DA said that she was expected in court. We saw those pictures of her in court, too. One woman, Ashley Ryan, 23 years old, she was headed to an appointment with her obstetrician when her vehicle was struck. Her boyfriend and her 11-month-old were also killed.
I hate stories like this. I tell y'all damn near every day, all we trying to do when we wake up in the morning is avoid crazy. And sometimes crazy will run right into you in the form of situations like this. And we all collectively got to rely on the most unpredictable thing ever to keep each other safe, and that's our own human behavior.
All right, now let's talk about Ahmaud Arbery. So Travis and Greg McMichael, the father and son, they were convicted of murdering Ahmaud Arbery, and they were both given 35 years in prison and an additional sentence of life in prison. The neighbor was given 35 years in prison, William Roddy Bryan, and they were given life in prison for federal hate crime charges. So a judge also required that Travis McMichael, Greg McMichael, and William Roddy Bryan serve their sentences in state prison. They were trying to go to federal prison. They requested that by their attorneys, but instead they'll have to serve their sentences, all three of them, in state prison. And here's Ahmaud Arbery's parents talking about the life sentence.
I'm very proud to say that we finally got justice for Ahmaud on the federal level.
It was hard to look at them every day as a father, and they show no remorse for how they took his life. That's the thing that really bothered me real bad. And then they asked for mercy. They didn't give him no mercy that day. So we don't want no mercy for those Michael. They didn't give us none. They didn't give him none.
That's right.
None at all.
I was more anxious to see was he going to address the parents of Ahmaud and also to the family of Ahmaud. And Travis chose not to even say that he was sorry. So it really showed the court, it showed the family, it showed everybody who's been saying just for Ahmaud what kind of people really took my son away.
Yeah, I don't feel sorry for none of them crackers.
Right,
okay.
and to flashback, Ahmaud Arbery was minding his business, going for a jog, and that's when the McMichaels, Travis and Greg McMichael, father and son, went and harassed him, tracked him down, and killed him.
They earned every bit of the sentences they got. They earned every single day, every minute.
Absolutely.
Now, again, like we said, the neighbor, William Roddy Bryan, is not going to get a life sentence. He got 35 years in prison. And according to reports, that was because it was necessary to distinguish Bryan from the McMichaels, in part because, unlike his neighbors, he did not bring a gun with him when they chased him out Arbery. It is not lost on the court that two men brought guns to that situation that had their worst effect, and you weren't one of them. This is what was said in court. And the judge added that Bryan was still deserving of an awfully long sentence. By the time you serve your federal sentence, you would be close to 90 years old. But again, Mr. Arbery never got the chance to be 26.
Let Chris Rock get something, Eddie.
Cracker ass, cracker!
There you go.
All right, well, that is your front page news.
My goodness, all right. Get it off your chest. 800-585-1051. If you need to vent, phone lines are wide open again. 800-585-1051. Vent. You could tell us something positive, whatever's going on in your life. Call us up right now. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The Breakfast Club. This is your time to get it off your chest, whether you're mad or blessed.
So you better have the same energy.
We want to hear from you on The Breakfast Club.
Hello, who's this?
Carla.
Hey, Carla, get it off your chest.
Okay, I live in a racist city in Michigan, Taylor. And I'm tired of my white neighbors asking me where I came from because I don't look like a normal black person. And then I hate when they call me the N-word or anything besides my name.
Why do they call you the N-word all randomly, and how come you don't know how to pronounce cracker back?
Because I was always taught not to, when I received hatred, I was always taught not to give it back. I'm just walking down the street, they say, oh, there goes another N-word, and I don't like it.
Wow. Well,
they take my Black Lives Matter flags off my grass and everything else.
Wow. Have you went to the police department and complained?
I went to the police department. They said, oh, they're just words. And I asked them, I said, well, if I called you out your name or if I did other things to you, how would you feel? They told me I need to get over it because I'm an adult.
And what about the destruction of property, the fact that they are taking things off of your property?
They said there's no proof, and I said I have cameras. They're always coming up with some excuse and asking me what did I do for them to even say anything to me. And I said being black in America walking down the street.
Well, you can do two things. You can either move, or you can, Michelle Obama said when they go low, you go high. I say when they go low, you can take it to the floor with them. I don't think there's anything wrong with a person. If a white man calls you the N-word, a white person calls you the N-word, and you reply back to them cracker ass cracker, I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
Or if you got cameras, you know exactly who's doing your stuff, right?
Yes, sir, I do.
And you show the police the cameras?
Yes, I did.
Oh, then I would have to release the footage. I put it on my Facebook. I put it on my social media. Let it go, and hopefully one of their bosses see it and fire their ass, or find out where one of them work and send it to one of their bosses.
And you the only black person in this neighborhood?
Actually, no. All the other black people there, they have the same problems. And, they're like, okay, well, we should get together and not put up with it. And I'm like, I'm trying not for the old me to come out, the Redford High School me come out, because I used to be very scandalous, and I don't want that part of me to come out.
Y'all gotta click up. Y'all gotta click up. Unity and group operation is a must, and y'all gotta put the fear of God in these people. I ain't saying resort to violence or nothing like that, but there's nothing wrong with your mouth. When they throw a slur at you, you could throw a slur back.
Thank you very much.
I don't see a problem with that.
That's a beautiful day.
All
You
right,
too.
Mama. And if you got a little money, I'll buy myself a nice big dog, and I would have that dog patrol my property. So next time they come on my property, you let that dog take care of and protect your house.
Thank you so much, and I will.
All right, Mama.
Get a white dog though. Make sure it's white.
Get a black dog.
No, don't get a black dog. They gonna shoot that punk ass black dog. Get you a nice white dog.
Hello,
big ass white dog. Confuse them.
Yeah, what's the word, bro? It's Mello.
Mello, what's poppin'?
Hey, Mello.
How y'all doing? Yo, listen, man. I just want to call right now, and I want to give my girl a special shout out. It was her birthday last week. You feel me? And I want to do something I haven't done in a while. I want to sing to her, if that's okay with y'all.
Good.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday. Happy birthday to you.
Why you ain't customize it? Why you ain't say her name?
Because, bro, like, people want to take my life, you know what I mean, and mess with my wife, and I don't want that to happen.
We don't know. What if you got 3 or 4 girls, Mello, and like 2 of them had birthdays last week, so you just singing a generic song to cover all your bases?
Well, at the same time, I'm a black man, and black men don't cheat. You know.
There you go, King. There you go. There you go. You shut me up. There you go,
bro.
Exactly. You feel me? And like I said, she working on her business right now, and I'm so proud of her. So if y'all want to reach out, follow her, Melissa Renee Agency on the gram, and tap in. You feel me? Get some health insurance. Let's get outside.
You just told me you didn't want to say her name. Now you just said her name. Salute to Melissa Renee, Mello.
Yeah, why would you do that?
Why did I do that? You just did it, Mello.
You reiterated her name, though. Like, you know what I was trying to do. You could have just let it rock.
My fault, man. Salute to Mello and Melissa Renee. I wish y'all the best. I send y'all nothing but positive energy, love, and light. Shout out Melissa Renee. Okay?
Get it off
Big
your
MR.
chest. 800-585-1051. If you need to vent, hit us up now. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The Breakfast Club.
I'm dialing. Hey, what you doing, man? I'm dialing. I'm calling you.
This is your time to get it off your chest, whether you're mad or blessed. 800-585-1051. We want to hear from you on The Breakfast Club.
Hello, who's this?
Hi, my name is Ayo.
Ayo, good morning.
Good morning, sir. Good morning. Thank you for taking my call.
Peace,
Get it off your
Ayo.
chest, mama.
I was calling because about this lawyer. My son was detained in jail, and they wouldn't give him a
bail, court date.
And so we hired a lawyer, and the lawyer was saying that if he did the first plea, they would charge us $1,400 because they made us give them $3,400.
What was the charge?
So they said violation of his probation. And so they said, if you give us $3,400, we'll take the case. So we gave them $3,400, and they broke the thing down. They said $1,400 will go to the first plea, $2,000 to go into a racket, like an account, just in case you got to go to trial or adjudication court. Well, my son took the first plea, and they kept all the money, and they were so nasty about it. And then I was told that it was written in the contract that either he take the first plea or not. Whether he take the first plea or not, they keep the whole $3,400. And I'm like, but that's wrong.
Well, I'm sorry you had a bad experience, mama.
County, they stole money from us. They stole the money. They talking about we don't get anything back, even though my son took the first plea for the $1,400.
Well, I'm sorry for you, mama. I'm sorry that you had that bad experience.
So I just tell people, be careful when you go to lawyers and try to get lawyers to help your loved ones out there. There's some really bad lawyers out there.
Okay. Well, thank you, and I'm sorry that you lost that money. Hello, who's this?
Yo, this is DJ Echo from the 757.
757.
Peace, Echo.
What up, Echo?
What's good, brothers?
What's going on? Get it off your chest.
I just want to speak about this, the sentencing. I'm so glad them men got what they got coming to them.
Absolutely.
Because speaking of for white people, we tired. We is tired of seeing people get away with stuff that they shouldn't get away with, and we tired of being looked at like all of us the same, because we not all the same. And even though them men got what they had coming to them, at the end of the day, it won't payment enough. It'll never be payment enough, because that young man can't live out his life, and people lost a son, a brother, a cousin, friend, and all that stuff, and he'll never be able to get to live out his life.
I agree with you, Ken.
Absolutely right.
It's just frustrating. So that's all I had to get off my chest.
Yes,
all right,
sir.
brother, thank you, man.
Yes, sir.
Get it off your chest. 800-585-1051. We got rumors on the way, Yee?
Yes, and this one is complicated. Fetty Wap has been arrested, and we'll tell you what he did. It's a threatening FaceTime call, but why did he even do that? Interesting story.
All right, we'll get into that next. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ Envy, Angela Yee, Charlamagne the Guy. We are The Breakfast Club. Let's get to the rumors. Let's talk Fetty Wap.
It's time. She's spilling the tea.
This is The Rumor Report with Angela Yee on The Breakfast Club.
So Fetty Wap is in jail after being arrested in New Jersey, and that is for allegedly threatening to kill someone and also flashing a gun on a FaceTime call. He already had been out on a $500,000 personal recognizance bond because of allegations that he worked with a crew of 5 other people to traffic more than 100 kilos of drugs in Long Island. Now, he did plead not guilty to that last year in October. And so prosecutors are saying he violated the conditions of his release with that threatening phone call that took place December 11th. That led to his arrest. So the reason why he said he did this, though, according to his attorney, she said her client was entrapped on the phone call by someone who had days earlier posted a photo of his dead 4-year-old daughter and said, "I'm happy she's dead because her father is a rat." So that's the person that he was threatening in the FaceTime call.
So the person that said that taped it and then told on him?
Yeah, so his attorney saying that this was entrapment. According to his attorney, he was very manipulative and trying to get a rise out of Fetty Wap to agitate him in a way no parent should have to face the death of one's 4-year-old daughter. And the judge did say he was sympathetic to anyone who lost a child, but ordered that he be detained because he was clearly deploying a gun to threaten to kill someone.
How they know it was a real gun? How they know it wasn't a fake gun?
I don't know how they know anything, but clearly that person did it on purpose. And
that's so whack.
I'll tell you what else is whack. Nobody is ever gonna make me mad enough to look at a phone screen and scream at it.
You right.
Like, you can't shoot anyone over FaceTime, bro.
You right.
Like what's the point of that at the end of the day? I'm gonna always be the old head who will never understand why people do things like that.
Yeah, but you know what? You know, somebody saying something about your 4-year-old daughter that died on social media, who knows how you might react? You know, people act out of character and do things like that. I mean, that's insane to me.
But you're on probation. You got to think a lot smarter.
I know, but he wasn't thinking at that moment, and that person knew.
Well, that's the problem.
And now he's off the streets. But the thing is,
that's a hard thing, though, because emotionally, like, you're so mad.
But what is screaming at your phone going
to do? It doesn't do anything, but
what is screaming at somebody through FaceTime, waving a gun going to do?
I can't imagine what it must feel like to have to even react to something like that.
But if I'm Fetty, I'm going to say it's a water gun.
If it was, and if it's not
a real prop gun. They can't prove this.
I agree with that. If it was in person, I can understand him losing his cool like that. But you had to think to look at the FaceTime and pull the gun and wave it. Like, come on, man.
But I will say this though: when somebody talks about your kids, you lose it. Like
especially your daughter who died at 4.
You just see red. I've been there before.
But you can't do anything to them through the phone.
You're right.
Is what I'm saying.
That's logical, but at times like that, illogical things happen. You know,
right?
That's why it's entrapment.
But you got to be careful because they will try to trick you off the street like they just did.
All right, now Drake has reacted to his father getting a portrait tattoo of him. Did y'all see this tattoo on his dad's arm?
I didn't know that was his dad.
Drake posted, "I was just sitting here thinking, why would you do me like this? We family." So I guess he didn't really think the tattoo looked like him, and he did have a little slight duck lips in there.
It looked a little crazy.
A little crazy. That don't even look like Drake.
His father, Dennis Graham, posted, "Ha ha ha, I had 16 people to try and straighten this out. They're hurting me." So I guess even his dad is like...
I promise you I didn't know that was Drake. When I saw that, before I read the caption, you know who I thought that was? What's the young man who sang that song from New York? Whoopsie. What was his name?
CJ.
That's who that. That's
not Whoopsie.
Whatever. That's who that tattoo
that
looked like.
That changed the whole meaning of that song.
I was like, who the heck is Whoopsie?
That's who that tat looked like.
All right, now The Rock. How did The Rock and Party end up in a bit of a situation, which I think was supposed to be a joke, but we'll talk about it. But this is all because The Rock was sharing his desire to be one of Megan Thee Stallion's pets. Now, in a recent interview, with The Rock and Kevin Hart for their new movie DC League of Super Pets. Here's the clip that Party was responding to.
Celebrity would you want to be a pet to?
Megan Thee Stallion.
Oh, that's a good one. Why Megan Thee Stallion?
Well, we don't have to talk about that. Okay?
All right. Well, Party responded and said, all our dogs is named after, is it numbers or hashtags? Just teach your wife how to use seasoning. You'll be all right.
Hilarious.
Yeah. And so...
why Party think the Rock wife don't use seasoning, man?
Party was joking.
The Rock got a white wife or something?
I don't know.
Gotta have a white wife.
Probably, I'm sure.
Yes. And so after people were going in on Party, he said, of all the things to be worried about, y'all think I'm mad at The Rock? And then he put a little laughing emoji. He said, the comments started all our dogs. Is that supposed to be numbers or hashtags?
I'm not sure.
And ended with, Mona is my ish. I deleted it because it seemed like people took it wrong, thought maybe my joke was in poor taste.
I thought it was hilarious, but I guess because I know Party, so I know Party's sense of humor. So I thought it was a joke. I knew he wasn't mad.
Yeah, we all knew he was. Well, we knew he was joking, but I don't know. But then maybe I guess he said something about his wife because The Rock said something about his girl, and so he threw her in there in the mix. I don't know.
No, I think I don't know. Maybe I thought he was saying tell your wife use a little seasoning because seasoning will make it a little thicker. That's what I was thinking.
I thought it was because white people are known for not seasoning.
I didn't know he had a white wife.
All right, well, that is your rumor report.
All right, front page news. Next, what are we talking about?
Oh, the FBI has executed a search warrant, and that is for Donald Trump's Mar-a-Lago property.
All right, we'll get into that next. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
You don't need no other body.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ Envy, Angela Yee, Charlamagne the God. We are The Breakfast Club. Let's get in some front page news. Where we starting?
All right. Well, the FBI executed a search warrant yesterday at Donald Trump's Mar-a-Lago resort in Palm Beach, Florida. And that is part of an investigation into the handling of presidential documents, including classified documents. These documents were supposed to go to the National Archives, but apparently they may have been brought there, according to people familiar with the situation.
He just kept the documents?
He took them with him to Mar-a-Lago, even though it was supposed to go to the National Archives. And I was watching the news this morning. They said it looks like some of the things he tried to flush down the toilet. Some of those documents.
As they were doing the raid?
Probably before or when the search warrant was executed.
He wasn't there.
But
when
they
did
did
the
say, some of those documents, it looks like they had been flushed down. They had documents that were flushed down the toilet when I was watching the news this morning. Now, the FBI search included examining where documents were kept, according to another person familiar with the investigation, and boxes of items that were taken. Following the National Archives recovering of White House records from Mar-a-Lago in recent months, the FBI on Monday had to verify that nothing was left behind. Now, Donald Trump's son, Eric, went on with Sean Hannity on Fox, and here's what he had to say.
Sean, my father never got so much as a speeding ticket in his life, until he made one decision, and that's to go down the escalators of Mar-a-Lago and spend a lot of money and go and actually fight for this country for the first time. And he did a better job than anybody has ever done. They went after him. They went after all of us. There's no family in American history that has taken more arrows in the back than the Trump family every single time. And you know what? It's gone on past politics. You look at the attorney generals, you look at district attorneys all over the country. All they want to do is they want to get Donald Trump. They raise money on it. They send fundraising emails about it. They brag on camera about it.
All right, now, the National Archives, which, what they do, they collect and sort presidential material. They have said that previously at least 15 boxes of White House records were recovered from Trump's Mar-a-Lago resort, including some things that were classified. So in early June, a handful of investigators went to the property seeking more information about potentially classified material from Trump's time in the White House that had been taken to Florida. Now, Republicans are furious about this. Senator Rick Scott of Florida, who leads the Senate's GOP campaign arm, tweeted out that search was part of a history of the Biden administration's going after its political opponents without providing any supporting details. A separate source said that it's Trump's team's understanding the investigation is related to the transfer of documents from the White House to Mar-a-Lago, and that agents seized several boxes of documents. And according to the Republican National Committee's chair, they suggested that the FBI activity was a partisan attack. Countless times we have examples of Democrats flouting the law and abusing power with no recourse. And the only way to stop Democrats is to elect Republicans in November.
Well, I'm going to talk about it more during Donkey of the Day, but there's nothing to celebrate here, people. I see folks on social media dancing and celebrating and laughing. Like, if this doesn't lead to charges, none of this matters. If they don't charge him, none of this matters, and this will just make him more invincible, make him look more Teflon. When they actually charge him and you see Trump on the front page in handcuffs, that's when you should say, okay, great, the FBI is doing their job. Because I told y'all one of the 4 things that needs to be done to protect democracy is to hold everybody accountable who had a hand in this attempted coup. And if this is leading to that, great. But right now, it's nothing to celebrate. It's just noise.
And, they're also talking about how having this investigation so close to the election is problematic, but they did not say that when they were investigating Hillary Clinton in October before the election. So it's just interesting now that the tables are turned. It's an issue.
Why would it be problematic for them? It's not like Trump is running in this election coming up.
Well, they're saying it's just close to Republicans. He represents Republicans. The Republicans are furious, and they're saying that they're trying to turn. And he is also endorsing people who are running for office.
Did they check on that?
Yeah, but that ain't gonna stop nothing. All of these people that are riding with Trump and whoever he endorses, they don't care what these folks do because they think that it's a witch hunt. That's why it's imperative that they charge him with a crime. Because if they do all of this and nothing comes of it, all he can say is another witch hunt. Once again, they've investigated me and found nothing. It makes him more invincible, makes him more Teflon, makes his people love him more.
Now, Senator Lindsey Graham tweeted out, we're 100 days away from the midterm elections. President Trump is likely going to run again in 2024. No one is above the law. The law must be above politics. However, launching such an investigation of a former president this close to an election is beyond problematic.
Oh, they've been investigating them.
So this is your front page news.
I wonder if they checked under the mattress for all the papers.
What?
Because, old people, they hide their stuff under the mattress.
Well, Trump, that's where the whole flushing of the toilet thing comes. Because that's what he's one of those old people that gets mad and rips things up and tries to flush them down the toilet.
They'll never find it.
Gotcha.
Well, they got pictures. I forgot who. Somebody wrote a book and they got pictures of the papers with his handwriting in the toilet.
No, I was kidding when I said they'll never find it. I don't think you can flush things down the toilet and think it'll never be found. Wouldn't that clog up your toilet? Like, you're not supposed to flush paper down the toilet.
Well, you can if you cut it up. All right. Anyway. All right. Well, let's talk this out. Let's open up the phone lines. I'm just curious. 800-585-1051. Has your house ever been raided?
No.
Charlamagne?
Mm-hmm.
Me? Mm-hmm. We'll talk about it when we come back. 800-585-1051. Has your house ever been raided? I mean, it happened to the president. Has it happened to you? Maybe it happened to your mama. Maybe you were there.
No, they definitely came to my mom's house. They definitely came to my mom's house.
Yeah, they definitely came in my house. Door off the hinges and all that. We'll talk about it.
No, they didn't kick the door down.
Oh, they kicked the door down with me. We'll talk about it when we come back. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The Breakfast Club. It's topic time. Call 800-585-1051 to join into the discussion with The Breakfast Club.
Talk about it.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ Envy, Angela Yee, Charlamagne the Guy. We are The Breakfast Club. Now, if you just joined us, we were talking about the president. His house just got raided. We're asking, has your crib ever got raided? Angela Yee said no.
Nope.
Never happened to you?
Never.
Charlamagne?
Yes.
What happened?
I talk about it in my first book, Black Privilege Opportunity Comes to Those Who Create It. But, they had picked my pops up. For something. They had my pops locked up, and they found like less than a gram of cocaine on my pops, and they used that to come to our house, and they actually knocked on the door, and it was the whole unit, and they told my mom either she can sign a warrant or they'll come back and kick the door down. So my mom signed a warrant for them to, search the house, and the only thing they found was less than a gram of cocaine in my room. It was literally like a bag that was in the trash can that had some residue in it. Then they took me to jail, and they had me and my pops, locked up for the weekend. Well, it was crack residue. It was residue from crack cocaine that I had in a bag, but the bag was empty. And it was literally like just the residue on the bag. And they had me and my daddy sitting in the Berkeley County Detention Center for the weekend. Salute to my pops, man, cowboy out there. But I've been involved in a couple raids. Like I got arrested in a drug raid before, and I got charged with distributing marijuana, I believe it was. I don't even remember what the charge was now, but yeah, back in my days.
Okay.
Another one I got away from.
All right.
Hit them woods.
Yeah, I was in college, and allegedly, we were stealing out of Costco, right? So we used to fill the shopping cart up with all types of things and just walk out. We'd go on Sunday, we wear a suit so they think we came from church. We walk out. The security guard who was in on it, they didn't have cameras at Costco at the time, and they went to every employee at Costco and was like, "We caught you on camera." And he was the only one who was like, "All right, you got me." And it was like, "Well, who else was involved?" And of course, I was the DJ, so they said Envy, and they kicked down my door. Because
you stole out of Costco?
Yep.
What'd you steal, bro?
Allegedly stole out of Costco, but they kicked down my door. And they took everything that was in my house.
For stealing out of Costco.
For stealing out of Costco.
That is the most light-skinned goddamn story I ever heard in my life.
I'm telling you. But they kicked the door down.
I was out here selling crack, all right? And this dude was stealing out of Costco, okay?
I mean, I was supplying the campus with DVD players back then.
I was supplying crack. Okay, all right. I was selling quarter spoons of.
Man, they have my door.
All right, 7 grams of crack.
Man.
All right, cut it up in 20s. Okay, $100 off each gram you're supposed to make. Well, my rocks were a nice size.
I was for the DVD
more like
players. They were $3.99 at Costco, and I was selling them for $150.
Well, those were the days.
Hello, who's this?
Tanya.
Hey, good morning. Talk to us, Tanya.
Yes, good morning, Angela. Good
morning.
Peace. How are you?
Doing good, gentlemen and ladies. Hi.
Hey.
I just at the time my dad was a drug dealer, and so I was 18. I was going up to his house to go visit him, and just realized that my dad's house was just raided. So actually by the federal. Kind of scary for me at the time walking into that and just seeing that, and then he was taken away. So it was kind of a scary moment for me.
Oh yeah, them feds don't play. I've seen a Fed raid before. I've never been involved in one. All my raids were like local police. But I've pulled up places and like, oh shoot, them feds, boy, they be like 100 deep. They got the nice matching jackets.
You come to my house now, you ain't gonna find nothing. Nothing.
I would hope not.
Why would they? What are you talking about?
I hope you're not still stealing from Costco.
No. BJ's now. Hello, no, I'm just joking. I'm just joking.
Not that type.
You giving people BJ's now?
Shut up, man.
So hold on. If I come to your house, I'll get a free B. I'll find some free BJ's. What are you saying?
Joking. Hello?
This guy is wild.
Hello?
Hey, good morning.
Hello. Hey, good morning.
Good morning.
So tell us what happened with you.
So, all right. Okay, so your topic, I'll be made for me or something. So my house got raided twice, okay? Both times happened before I was an adult. So the first time it was on Christmas Eve.
Christmas
Eve? Yes, on Christmas Eve. Y'all want to talk about trauma. Okay, it was Christmas Eve. I'm trying to make this short. Christmas Eve, whenever we all left the house, my kid and stuff. So my parents and my mom and stuff, they all upstairs getting dinner together. And there's a bunch of stuff going outside. We didn't know, but I guess they had shot an officer down the street from my house, right?
Damn.
So why my neighbor tell the police that the man who shot the officer ran through my house?
Oh, boy.
Like, why is you lying? Girl, man, listen. So then they put all the kids downstairs. So we just started hearing a bunch of, like, banging on the door. And everybody, like, get out the house. They start saying our address and everything. So my uncle go outside to see what's going on. They got a gun pointed at my uncle. They make everybody come outside. My mom had no shoes on in the wintertime. It's snowing. We all outside now. They get put us in a paddy wagon. They going through our house. We, after, we getting traumatized, X, Y, and Z. So we go back inside. Why my mom and them was making burgers? Why they eat our burgers?
Because trauma makes you hungry. Now you ain't gonna sit here.
The cops ate her burgers.
Oh, the cops ate her burgers.
Eat our burgers. Yes, they ate our burgers while we was they raiding our house and eating our food
they was
on
hungry.
Christmas Eve. Okay, so then the second time I was living with my dad in Florida. Okay, he had his personal business. He's doing what he's doing.
Oh, boy.
So I'm in my room chilling. I start hearing my door rattling. My door is rattling. I'm thinking it's probably my dad's friend banging on the door or something. I don't know. So I open the door. My dad let me live how I live. I open the door. I'm like, what the is y'all doing? So everybody is looking at the back door. Like, literally looking at the back door. I'm like, what's going on? Mind you, I've been here before. So the door keeps rattling. I start getting anxiety. I'm like, oh, my goodness, they about to raid the house. So they going through the back door, but the front door open. A bunch of officers come in, they in their SWAT uniform. They come in. I'm scared as heck. Mind you, the second time I've been through this. This officer points this huge gun at me. I go in my room. They all going through my stuff. They going through my room. They ask me if anybody in there. I'm like, no. He's like, why you hesitant? You got a gun pointed at me. I'm sorry, I'm not about to be immediately answering you. So we go outside. They running through my house, rummaging everything. They bagging up Pyrex, bagging everything up. They go outside. They trying to ask me questions. I'm like, no, I don't want to talk to you clearly. You're really invading my life. Forget you. So then, they take my dad to jail. It was crazy. Like,
Queen, can I ask you a question, Queen? So you've been involved in 2 drug raids?
Well, one was a drug raid. The other one was a misunderstanding.
Yeah, because they thought so.
Okay.
The second one was because of the drug raid.
Well, I just need you to know. God is telling me to tell you this. It's you.
It's not you.
It's you.
It's not you.
It's you. You're the problem.
You have all the money.
Ma'am,
it's
you.
It's
you.
Pops.
You're the problem.
No,
man.
she good.
Ma'am, it's you. It's you. You the one common denominator in all of this.
I want better for you, though.
What? I want better for me, too.
And that's where it starts. That's where it starts.
Thank you, Mama.
That's where it starts.
800-585-1051.
You gotta want better for you.
The president's crib just got raided. We just asking, have your crib ever got raided? Call us up. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.
Call me. Add your opinion to the Breakfast Club topic. Come on. 800-585-1051.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ Envy, Angela Yee, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. Now, if you just joined us, we're asking, has your house ever got raided? 800-585-1051. We're talking about it because, of course, they raided the president's house. My house was raided before. Well, I ain't gonna say my house. My apartment when I went to college. Charlamagne's crib got raided before.
My mama's crib, that I was staying at. That's even worse. When you call something like that,
not I.
Not I. He said, "Hello, who's this?"
Kevin out of Detroit.
Hey, Kevin. What up? What up, though?
Hey, sir. What's happening with you? What up, though?
What's happening?
So, tell us the story, Kev.
They say, well, has your house ever been raided? Yeah, my house been raided 3 times back in some years ago. I ain't gonna say years and years like that, but I say about 10.
So at what point did you say, you know what? Let me not do nothing in the crib no more, so they stopped raiding the crib, brother?
Well, the crazy part about it wasn't me doing anything in the crib. It was my mom. But they raided 3 times, and 2 times they never found anything.
What was your mom doing?
Yeah. My mom, she from Detroit. She from the city, from the hood. You got to ask that question?
And we understand. So your mom got caught 1 time. Where was she hiding the drugs? She don't do it no more. So where was she hiding the drugs? I'm just curious.
Well, before she was hiding them, and they never could find them. But the 3rd time, she had just got on, and when she got her stuff, and before she got a chance to even hide it, they came in the house and caught her with them.
Damn.
And when they took her to jail, they told me, they said, "You gonna let your mama go to jail?" Like, what you mean? I ain't nothing I supposed. What am I supposed to do?
Mama's responsible for her own choices. Mama's responsible for her own choices, King.
Hey, I'm always, like I said, my mom, that's my mother. I ain't her father.
Can I ask you a question, King? Let me ask you a question.
Okay,
Let me ask you a question. Did your mama learn her lesson?
Yeah, she did after that, because they had her going to all kind of programs and stuff, and I had to take her.
There she go.
She was like, I don't feel like doing this. So.
Wait a minute. How old was your mother when how old were you when your mother got locked up?
She was like maybe 66.
Too old to be doing what she was doing.
How old were you?
I was she's 30 years older than me.
So you was 30, she was 66. So when they came and raided, you just said, "All right,
I was
Mom,
36.
see you later." Wow.
I'm sorry?
I said, wow. I said, they came and arrested your mom. You was like, "All right, Mom, see you later."
Well, I was in the car across the street and watched her bring her out.
I ain't going over there.
I ain't going over there. Goodness gracious.
You're not her daddy.
Hello, who's this?
Hi, this is Michelle.
Michelle, good
Hey,
morning.
Michelle.
Have your house ever got raided?
So not my house. Of course, I'm from Florida, and I decided to skip school 9th grade year and was at a boyfriend's house, and his dad was the local drug dealer. So as I'm there skipping school for the first time, they decided to bust down the door.
Wow. So you got arrested.
Don't make it seem like they did it for no reason now. There was some suspicious activity happening. Wasn't there, ma'am?
It was a lot of suspicious activity.
See what I'm saying? We always omit that part.
But one of the local officers who pulled up happened to know me from through the neighborhood because that was his local route. And he was like, what are you doing here? And so luckily he put me in the car and dropped my black tail off to school.
Take your little wannabe trap queen ass off. Take your ass right back the way you need to be. School.
Thank you,
So
Mama.
y'all little young girls, don't be skipping school. That one day you're going to mess around and catch a charge for no reason.
That's great sound advice. Great sound advice coming from Florida. I like that. Okay?
Can I just go back to the brother whose mom was 66 years old?
What about her?
And he was 36 years old.
What about her?
And his mom was selling crack.
His mama should know better. His mama was twice his age. Okay? If anybody should know the consequences of crack cocaine in our communities, it's a 66-year-old woman.
Bro, you gonna let your mama get locked up or you gonna take it?
Depends.
It depends on what? That's your mama.
If she was selling crack, it ain't got nothing to do with that.
What?
I'm a take a. Imagine your mama selling crack and you out here living your best life. Like you actually are doing what you're supposed to be doing. But for whatever reason, your mama decided to be selling crack at 66. I'm gonna go to jail for her because she made poor choices.
That's your mama.
Please.
Holy cow.
Are you out of your goddamn mind? You crazy
and
as
why
hell.
is his mama selling crack? He should have 20 jobs so his mama ain't got to sell no crack.
Hey man, sometimes old habits die hard.
I'm gonna take that charge from mama, man.
No, you're not.
66-year-old?
No, you're not. 66, how much time she really gonna do?
Yo,
I'm just saying. 66, how much time she really gonna do at 66?
I would think his mom wouldn't want him to either, though.
The clock is ticking, man.
Is ticking, mama. Hey,
all
mama.
right? Clock is ticking.
You live life, mama.
66, you in the 2-minute warning, bro.
Yo,
all right, well, how much time? She'll be all right.
We got rumors on the way.
Yes, and let's talk about Fat Joe. He said Irv Gotti is a sucker. Let's find out why.
All right, we'll get into that next. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.
You switch like a track out with the kid, snatch off on
I don't know what you got going on today, bro, but stop following me. Stop repeating my words, okay? You, Rashawn.
What are you talking about?
Has got me following me since this morning. Let me tell you what this dude did to me this morning, yo.
Goodness.
He held the elevator for me, and he kept saying, come to the, he was like, come on. When I get to the elevator, he's standing right at the front of the elevator, so I gotta run into him. It's like, yo, what's up with you? Then I walk to the refrigerator. He's like, don't think I'm following you. I just need to go to the freezer, too. Stop.
Yo.
Cut it out.
I held the elevator for you, which is a polite thing to do.
Then you tried to hold me.
I did not try to, yo.
Cut it out.
I did not try to hold
Cut it out.
Did you get on and brush past him?
I walked. I had to like do a spin move, like I was on Madden or something. I had to hit a spin move, like I'm running back on Madden or something. I had to.
I'm not doing this with you today. Not today.
This guy was trying to get an offensive foul.
Yo, shut up, man.
Trying to draw a charge. I saw what you was doing.
Let's get to the rumors. Let's talk Fat Joe.
Listen up. It's just in.
All the gossip. The Rumor Report. Gossip. With Angela Yee.
It's the Rumor Report.
The Breakfast Club.
Well, Irv Gotti and Ja Rule were on Drink Champs, and a lot of things that went viral had to do with Irv Gotti talking about his relationship with Ashanti. And people are wondering, why does he keep on talking about it? Here is what originally happened on Drink Champs.
I could get past you wanting to be with Nelly.
Sounds like you didn't get past that. I'm just being honest.
Listen. You want to hear how I found out?
How did you find out, sir?
I was at home.
And there wasn't no Twitter or Instagram back then.
I was at home. Listen to this. This is God wanted me to find out. I was at home. NBA package. I like watching sports. Oh my God, what's this commotion going on in the stadium? We just found out what the commotion is. Nelly has walked in with Ashanti.
That's not what
I know. I didn't want to, go too in depth in it, but he said a lot more about Ashanti on Drink Champs. And Fat Joe thinks that this is sucker-ish that he's doing. Fat Joe went on live, and here's what he had to say.
Irv Gotti is sucker, man. Whatever Irv has with Ashanti is 20 years old. It felt like he's not over the young lady, right? And so also we didn't know that they was right? Because the whole time I'm there. I never seen them together like that. Now I'm not saying they wasn't. They was. But don't need to know. Now it's okay if it's on a documentary, you gotta say your truth for your documentary. But to go to Drink Champs and keep calling her a bitch. Yeah, like I'm not telling stories about a girl I was with 20 years ago. In fact, I hope you die.
What did Joe mean by that info? What did he mean?
Harsh. And I will say, yes, he did keep saying bitch in the episode. And then later on, he was like, you know what? I don't mean bitch like that. I'm saying it like, you know,
I think Irv is self-aware enough to look back on that Drink Champs episode and agree with Fat Joe.
It's actually a drink.
Yes, I think that because talking about Poom Poom from 20 years ago is wild.
When I seen it, I thought it was whack too.
Like LeBron wasn't even in the league. Bragging about LeBron rookie season Poom Poom is nuts.
Well, here's what Fat Joe had to say more about Irv Gotti.
Kind of brings less credibility to everything else you see. And let me tell you something. Irv Gotti, he did discover. Irv Gotti did make it a hits. Did shoot the video. Right? I mean, the man did it. He's a genius. It's a fact. He signed DMX. He signed Jay-Z. He signed Ja. The man's a genius. He's a genius. There's no question. But he make himself look crazy, disrespecting her. And the woman never really disrespected him.
Yeah, you've never heard Ashanti say anything.
Everything Joe said was absolutely positive.
Everything Joe said was a fact, and you know,
and they used to be cool. Well, they used to be cool, but they used to be cool. But when I seen it, I was like, that's weak.
I just, don't ruin your legacy, King. You know, that's what I would tell Brother Irv, because like your legacy is stronger than that. Like, and I don't see what any of that has to do with the Murder Inc. story. Like, the Murder Inc. story is powerful. We don't need those extra details. Like, how does that make the story any more stronger?
And I also agree with Fat Joe. If it's in the documentary and it's part of that, I think that's. I mean, if
maybe
it was part of the
I think
story,
that's so whack.
Maybe. Honestly. I mean, you think Irv is the first person? You think him and Ashanti the first executive artist to be doing stuff like that?
But I think if it's relevant to the story,
that's what I'm saying. I don't see how it is.
I can understand. I haven't seen the documentary, so I can't say whether or not it is.
Yeah, I'm in the doc. I'm in the doc that's coming out, but I just don't see how that's relevant to the Murder Inc. story.
But I can't say until I see it. If there's some type of relevancy of telling your story, and that's it plays into something that went on. Because on Drink Champs, he was talking about the raid and why personally that situation affected him. With Ashanti stepping away and separating herself.
Man, but you could say all of that without saying that y'all slept together. You could say that you just thought y'all was family and you expected more loyalty than that. You don't got to say y'all slept together.
Everybody has situations, and that was 20 years ago. I just thought that was whack. I think Joe was mad at Ja too, right? Didn't he say something about Ja? He was mad that Ja didn't defend her.
Ja Rule was lightweight trying to defend her, but it could have been like, all right, that's enough. Let's move on. Let's keep it going.
Yeah, I thought it was whack.
All right, now congratulations to Nicki Minaj. She is getting the Michael Jackson Vanguard Video Award honor from MTV. So,
congrats. I'm going to clues bombs from Nicki Minaj.
Absolutely.
The president of music talent, programming, and events, Paramount and Chief Content Officer, Music Paramount Plus, Bruce Gilmer. He's the president of all of that. He said Nicki has broken barriers for women in hip hop with her versatility and creative artistry. She has shifted the music industry and cemented her status as a global superstar with her crossover appeal, genre-defying style, and continuing to be unapologetically Nicki. So congrats. And I saw Missy Elliott also congratulated her as well. And so Missy had also previously gotten that Video Vanguard Award.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't she have a single coming out this week? Is it this week? Her new single is coming out?
And yes, and Queen Radio also. That's all going to be coming out. The next episode of Queen Radio is going to air on Thursday at 7 p.m. and then the new music. So get ready for that. All right, I'm Angela Yee, and that is your Rumor Report.
All right, Charlamagne, who you giving that down to?
Man, I need all these GOP lawmakers calling for to defund the FBI to come to the front of the congregation. We like to have a word with them, even though I agree with them. We'll talk about it.
All right.
After the hour.
We'll get to that next. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The Breakfast Club. Your mornings will never be the same.
When it's time to get with someone special, the best way to do it is with Magnum large size condoms. That gold foil wrapper is a badge of honor, and it means you're protected. And you take care of things with comfort. Accept no substitutes. Bring the pleasure with the gold standard. Magnum large size condoms.
This is a miracle.
There is no question that there are problems in this country between police and community.
Yes, you are a donkey.
The latest on that police killing of a black man.
Now to new developments in the deadly spa shooting rampage.
And yesterday was a really bad day for him, and this is what he did.
And so we are in a state of emergency.
Okay, white supremacist violence always has been the number one threat to our society.
But I'm also very proud that my wife is white.
The Breakfast Club, bitches.
All right, Charlamagne, please tell me, why was I your donkey of the day?
Well, donkey today for Tuesday, August 9th goes to Marjorie Taylor Greene, Paul Gosar, and all the other several Republican lawmakers calling for the FBI to be destroyed and defunded. Let me tell you something, man. Yesterday, Dope 45, President Donald Trump's Mar-a-Lago residence was raided by the FBI. Oh, the Alphabet Boys pulled up because, as you know, the Justice Department has 2 known active investigations connected to Trump, okay? One is on his efforts to overturn the 2020 presidential election, you know, the attempted coup that happened back on January 6, 2021, and the other involving the handling of classified documents. This is what this raid was about, the classified documents part. Listen, I saw mad people celebrating yesterday, and it's a damn shame that we live in a country where now we celebrate folks for doing the bare minimum. Okay, the FBI was doing their job. Now, I'm happy that it happened because I like being right. All right, I have no problem being proven wrong, but I like being right. And one of the 4 things I've been saying that needs to be done to protect democracy as we know it is to prosecute everyone involved with the insurrection on January 6th, even if one of those people is a former president. Okay, treason cannot be tolerated. If you don't make an example out of every single person who had a hand in this attempted coup, then all this attempted coup is a training exercise for the next one. So it's good to see the FBI doing their job, but job not finished. Okay, remember when the Lakers was up 2-0 in the 2009 NBA Finals against the Orlando Magic, and they asked the late great Kobe Bryant why wasn't he happy, and he replied, "What's there to be happy about? Job's not finished." That's exactly how I feel in regards to the feds raiding Mar-a-Lago. Okay, until there's charges being filed, this is just noise, and if Trump doesn't get charges pressed against him, it just makes him more invincible, makes him look more Teflon. So I see y'all online dancing and celebrating. Relax, all right? Job's not done, but the reason we are gathered here today is because a funny thing happened after the feds raided Mar-a-Lago. Okay, members of the GOP's far-right wing started calling for the FBI to be destroyed and defunded. Now, these are some of the same House Republicans who introduced Back the Blue Act to fend off progressives pushing to defund the police. But now, they calling for the FBI to be defunded and destroyed. Man, that was hilarious to me because I have gotten on this radio and told y'all quite a few times that all these old institutions that are rooted in white supremacy are all Frankenstein monsters that will eventually cannibalize us all. So many of you have sat around and watched the evil these institutions have done to others, but you had to know at some point it would be your turn. This is what's happening here. Look, man, I'm all for it because it's impossible to have an internal reckoning of a country without an internal reckoning of its white supremacist institutions, okay? Top law enforcement officials have said for a few years now that the biggest domestic terror threat comes from white supremacists. So it's good to see the feds raiding the house of a supremely white man who absolutely brought white supremacy back to mainstream politics. And Trump's allies, oh, they can't stand it. All right, Marjorie Taylor Greene tweeted to fund the FBI. Then she followed that up by tweeting, "Elections are how Americans solve political differences, not by radicalizing our federal law enforcement to take political enemies out. This is why we must protect election integrity." The Republican Party has been pushing and implementing legislation to keep black people from voting since they started letting black people vote. But now they want to talk about election integrity? Please. That's a topic for a different day. Let me stay the course. Arizona Representative Paul Gosar tweeted, "We must destroy the FBI. We must save America." Paul, I agree with you. All right, Colorado lawmaker Lauren Boebert tweeted that she wanted the GOP to set up a select committee to investigate the FBI's politically motivated raid on Mar-a-Lago and all the fraudulent persecution of President Trump from our government, end quote. House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy tweeted a warning to the head of the DOJ, signaling that a GOP-controlled Congress would investigate the FBI's search of Trump's property. Wow. Wow. Let me take a sip of water real quick. Hold on. Hold on. You know why they're reacting like this? They're reacting like this because the FBI was established back when marginalized communities had little to no rights. So who are these institutions designed to protect, and who are these institutions designed to police? Well, I can tell you this, the white man's system isn't built to prosecute whiteness, so they can't believe what they are witnessing right now. One rich, privileged, supposedly untouchable white man gets his house raided, and now all of a sudden it's to fund the FBI? Never mind the fact that the FBI has been notoriously racist. The man that the FBI's headquarters is named after, J. Edgar Hoover, or as I like to call him, the HNKIC, head nigger killer in charge. This man was one of the FBI's founders and implemented so many discriminatory initiatives like COINTELPRO. You know COINTELPRO, you know, It was a series of illegal projects that encouraged government officials to infiltrate and dismantle many a civil rights movement. All right, this man spied on and stalked so many prominent black people because, in his words, he wanted to stop the rise of a black messiah. This man got Marcus Garvey deported, bruh. And allegedly, I have to say allegedly, okay, he got so many American patriots who happened to be black killed. Malcolm X, all right, the family of Malcolm X got a letter from a dying NYPD officer named Raymond Wood, who admits that the FBI, along with the NYPD, were complicit in the assassination of Brother Malcolm. The FBI harassed Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. They sent a letter to Dr. King encouraging him to kill himself. The FBI even sent out a memo saying it's clear that MLK is the most dangerous Negro in America, and we have to use every resource to destroy him. Yes, Marjorie Taylor Greene, I agree, defund the FBI, okay? Yes, Paul Gosar, we must destroy the FBI. I am with y'all. Okay, do I even have to tell y'all about Fred Hampton and Mark Clark, two leaders of the Black Panther Party who were gunned down in an FBI-coordinated raid while they were sleeping? Come on, man. The FBI has been doing stuff like this to black people for years, and J. Edgar Hoover was celebrated for intentionally infiltrating and sabotaging black civil rights groups. But never, ever have I heard lawmakers saying the FBI needs to be destroyed and defunded for any of that. But as soon as the pressure gets put on a privileged white man just a little bit, now it's time to defund the FBI. Well, damn it. Tell us how to help you. Tell us how to help you do that, because this is long overdue. All right, I agree with every single member of the GOP. Yes, they are the biggest hypocrites, but I would rather look at it as a change of heart. Okay, and let's figure out how to dismantle this historically racist institution. I'm with it, okay? And I'm happy that y'all are finally seeing what black people have known about the FBI forever. Now, one thing's for sure, two things for certain. Crackers really can't handle getting treated like niggas. Cracker ass cracker! Please let Chelsea Handler give all these hypocritical GOP lawmakers who are screaming to defund the FBI the biggest hee-haw.
Hee-haw, hee-haw. That is way too much Dan mayonnaise.
You know, if you go to Paramount Plus, the first season of my show that was named The God's Honest Truth, the second episode I did was called Only the Feds I Fear. And I, talked about this historically racist institution called the FBI. So I have no problem with anybody screaming to defund and destroy the FBI.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Oh, thank you for that donkey of the day.
Mm-hmm.
Next, when we come back, Royce the 5'9" will be joining us. Of course, you know Royce the 5'9", lyricist, rapper, used to be signed to Eminem, part of the Slaughterhouse Group, with Crooked Eye, Joel Ortiz, and Joe Button. So we're going to talk to him when we come back. All right, don't move. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ Envy, Angela Yee, Charlamagne the Guy. We are The Breakfast Club. We got a special guest joining us today.
Yes, indeed.
We got Royce the 5'9". Welcome back, brother.
What's up?
Who else we got with us, Royce?
It's my brother Courtney Bell.
Mm-hmm.
Peace and love.
Artist Courtney Bell.
Yeah, my longtime friend and partner, Keno.
Who
y'all talked to many times.
What you been up to, Royce? How's everything been?
I've been adjusting, man. Adjusting to the pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, it's tough. You know what I mean? So I've been trying to keep myself mentally stable.
Mm-hmm.
The biggest lesson I learned about myself is I don't need to be speaking all the time. I'm trying to get my filter together. I'm trying to learn how to protect my energy. So that's the biggest adjustment that I've been making. And then music, I'm always making music. So right now we got a project called The Heaven Experience, where I took over ownership of a lot of my masters dating back, which is, I feel is super important now.
What was the process of getting it back? Was it, some people have to wait a certain amount of time. Some people had to pay. Some people it was just a conversation. So what was the process with you getting your masters back?
All of the above. All of the above.
Conversation, time, and pay.
Yeah. But when you sign, from our era when we did deals, it was standard for the labels to have control of the master for like 7 years.
Mm-hmm.
And then some of it was, let me buy that back.
Mm-hmm.
And then some of it, it was all three.
Do you talk to a lot of the Detroit artists? Because Detroit is a new wave of artists coming out. Do you get a chance to speak with the younger artists and say, hey, this is how you should be signing your deals? Or is it one of those things when you're young, you're like, that, we know what we're doing anyway?
Nah, I speak to him as much as I can. This is one of them.
Okay.
This dude is like enlightened beyond his years. But there's a few artists that I kind of mentor, not to the degree of him, but there's a lot of companies, they come with a bag of money. They don't have much to offer. But since they have money up front and they're catching these guys at a time where they kind of need money or they feel like that they need money, it's already in the contract. I actually read somebody's proposal and it said, we will have ownership of the master in perpetuity and then we'll split everything 60-40, 60 us, 40 you, and give you a $5,000 advance. And he was thinking about signing that.
for $5,000. God damn.
Because that's the opportunity, though.
Yeah, because we don't.
5,000.
Number one, we programmed to think short-sighted.
Correct.
We have no kind of like idea of how to place value on that master so early on. We don't know what it's going to be worth until it comes out, and then it goes, and then it's like, damn, okay, now I know a little bit more. Correct. Now I want to go get the master back. Now it's the same old song and dance publicly from a public platform. You bashing some company or something like that, right. Which that don't look good either.
It's an investment. The problem is we don't always understand the complexity of the deals.
But you can't be mad because
you can't be mad at it.
You have to have an attorney. So that means your attorney looks over that paperwork in most cases.
Yeah, but your attorney is their attorney.
That's right. I give you an attorney. It's just an attorney to label you all the time. You can have an attorney.
But you know how that conversation came up in the car? I said, do you think it's possible for me, a black man, to cultivate a real meaningful relationship with an artist and own his masters?
And I said, yeah. He said
for any period of time.
I think so.
Is there any point where that artist is gonna get a little bit wiser, a little bit bigger, and then look at it in retrospect? Is it possible for him or her not to harbor some resentment?
Renegotiate though.
Yeah, I agree with you, Royce.
Renegotiate though. Like when that artist catches that hit, it has to be a point where it says, okay, I made my money back off the investment, because it's not just $5,000. You got to pay for travel. You got to pay for wardrobe.
That's the biggest part.
For traveling. You're paying for.
What would your
shows.
Renegotiation be?
It depends how big the record is. Like, for perfect example, right? Cardi B. When Cardi B was first signed, they put a lot into Cardi B, but then she took off. That should have been a renegotiate right then and there. You got one of the biggest female artists. Give her half the company.
But then what happens when you got 5 Cardi B's on your label?
Exactly. And that's what I was going to say too about the masters conversation. It's about the investment you put in them.
Right.
You know what I mean? I don't want none of your masters if I didn't make a large investment. But if I made a large investment, I can see why. I
got to get it back.
And we're going to be held to a different standard than the labels would be.
Yeah.
You hear the way niggas talk about Hove, Puff.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, don't nobody talk about Leor. Don't nobody talk about none of these labels.
Correct.
But let Hove do something, let Suge do something, let any of us do something, then it's just like, oh man, you wrong. How could you do that? You know what I mean? And
but when you invest in somebody, you're paying for everything, right? So you're paying for studio time. You're paying for them lights to be on. You're paying for the engineer. You're paying for the food, the per diem, the water, traveling, hotels, wardrobe if they don't have it. Now he has to make a record. If that record don't pop, you don't get none of that money back. So
and you're doing it on some family. And that creates a sense of entitlement. That's why I asked in the context of cultivating a relationship, because we do everything on some family. So it's difficult to be able to do that kind of business and cultivate a relationship.
Is that the other problem too, though, that black executives do the family thing? We're a family. We rock for life. We bad boy for life. Isn't that to just be more business?
That's what it always feels like. Even when you look at Meek signing the Royce or Drake and Nicki signing the Wayne, it's a family. It's a family when we win.
Yeah.
But then when you start throwing them bricks out, then it's F that person that you just called your family. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know. I don't have nothing to say to that, because
but we want family.
It is kind of what it is.
That's where we come from, though. In our culture, we come from broken families, so the ability to make money with our family, it ain't just music. I mean, it could be the dope game too. But at the end of the day, it still starts with leadership.
I went out there when Puff was working on the Press Play album. I went out there to work for him, and this nigga had me in like a MIDI room just writing verses over and over and over again while he was in the big luxurious A room with all of his celebrity friends. And I was just like, man, this nigga ain't paid me. You know what I'm saying? Like, this grimy. About 10 years later, after I was a little wiser, I looked at him in retrospect, man. I had to hit him on the DM. I didn't have his number. I had to hit him on the DM, man, and tell him how much I appreciate him, how much I took from that. Like, it was because of that process that I started to rewrite in my own creative process. Like, I was like, I didn't even rewrite my own this much. Why don't I approach my with this same kind of intensity? I pulled that from it. And just the opportunity, you know what I mean? Like, sometimes, man, we take for granted the opportunity. And I looked at him and thought about how many great things he's contributed to the culture and how much all of the bad stuff, or the quote unquote bad stuff, is always placed in front of us. Same with Baby. I wish I could call Baby and tell him how great I think he is. You know what I mean? Because it's like, every time you hear about these guys, it's all, they on drugs, they doing this, kissing this in the mouth, this doing this. But it's like, bro, these been existing since 1997.
Nah, legends.
If that was anybody else from any other culture of people. Them would be
They'd have
running
statues.
Universal.
No, you're right. We have
Statues.
to appreciate even Dame. I seen Dame this weekend. I was on a panel with him. And in the middle of the panel, I had to say thank you. And he was like, for what? I was like, back then when I was doing mixtapes, even though it was like 99, I was like, you had an opportunity to do the Rockefeller mixtapes with Clue, with SNS, with Flex. But you said you wanted a young DJ at the time and you picked me. And I was like, thank you.
Because you were cheaper.
Just shut up. Yeah, shut up now. But, he was shocked that I said thank you. But I was like, you know what? When you grow a little bit, you really understand how grateful it was to have that opportunity. Because we don't have those opportunities. You know?
But I will say, though, 10 years ago, you wasn't no new Royce.
No, I was saying 10
to have
years.
you in the B room now, you ain't no new.
No, I was saying 10 years later from when that was.
Oh, okay.
You remember the Press Play album?
Yeah, but even with that, Royce, the 5'9" should have been treated with a little bit more respect, I think.
No. I was on a private jet with him. We went to Tampa.
Oh, okay.
It's just when we was up at Daddy's house. You remember how long ago Daddy's house was?
All right, we got more with Royce to 5'9". When we come back, don't move. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning. Morning, everybody. It's DJ Envy, Angela Yee, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. We're still kicking it with Royce to 5'9". And I gotta ask, Slaughterhouse, are y'all back on good terms? I don't know what month this was, what week it was. I happened to turn
It was
on
early this year.
Instagram, and I seen y'all arguing on Instagram. You were the middleman. You were the one trying to calm things down, and they were going back and forth. And I just turned it off. I was like, I can't see these brothers arguing anymore. So y'all back good?
I mean, I can never say we bad. You know what I mean? Like, listen, man. We spent 10 years together, man. Damn near every day building something special. You know what I mean? And it just ended in a very unfortunate way. But I can't just sum it up like that. Now we haven't spoken. Two of the guys, Crooked and Joel, made some decisions that, we can't really come back from in terms of business. That's really it.
Decision was they decided to do their own group or do their own thing together?
I'm gonna give you the short version. But me and Joe are sitting around minding our own business, and we look up and they start rolling out a project. The project was called The Rise and Fall of Slaughterhouse. They put this project out, and the project is announcing to the world that the group is over. And this is while we had already went through a long negotiation with Shady to pull the group off the label so we can do things moving forward, so we can make another album, so we can relaunch merchandise, so we can relaunch everything Slaughterhouse.
So y'all were going to do another album. Even Joe was going to get in the studio and do another album at that time.
Absolutely.
Okay.
The whole album was basically about how Joe not gonna rap. Crooked came to the table with a deal idea. We didn't want to do it, so they over it. They're done. The group is done. And I just felt like that was a hell of a thing to blindside me with as a friend and as a business partner, because number one, if the group is gonna be over, that's fine. Things end. Just let me know that. Or if you're gonna go public and say that you're done with the group, that's cool. But don't just go public and just announce that the group is done. I expected more out of Crooked. I didn't have as much of a problem with Joel because, me and Joel always been cool, but me and Crook, I thought we were better than that. You know what I mean? So it was more of a personal thing, you know what I mean? But I can't bring myself to a point where I can get on a public platform and bash any of them though. You know what I mean? I got too much love for them. And I think the amount of love I got for them is what made me so disappointed. Bun told me, like when Slaughterhouse first became a thing, he called me and said, anytime I ever aired out anything publicly, if it involved family, I always regretted it. And that always resonated with me. Since that conversation, I went and done that probably 50 times. And I regretted it every time. So, so that's one of the things that I'm working on. So to answer your question, no. No more Slaughterhouse, but still nothing but love, always.
I respect everything that you said, and I feel like that should have been an easy conversation for Crooked and Joel, because Joe don't want to rap. So if he don't want to rap, there's no Slaughterhouse. So why shouldn't they be able to go do their own project?
Well, it's easy to paint Joe as that because of how many things he said publicly. But when we're having conference calls and he's a part of every call and we having creative conversations about what we're going to do next, you know what I mean?
He was going to get back in there and do it.
Joe's thing is, I'm retired. I'm in the content space, but I'm really into ownership right now. I will rap in Slaughterhouse if we own it. It can't be on Shady. And if we decide to take it to another label, I would be particular on how we would do that deal because we already built it. This is something we built already.
As y'all should.
And I agree, it shouldn't just sit on Shady. If Shady doesn't want to release it, then this is respectfully because I love them too, always. So to get to that point with Joe being way more knowledgeable, obviously myself being way more knowledgeable, and then just having it in our possession, and for them to just jump the gun like that because of a deal that he put on the table, which that's never been his role in the group. But I mean, anything that anybody put on the table, I would consider it, but I think that we should be allowed to ask questions, right?
All right.
If I put something on the table for us and you ask questions, or even if you say no, does that mean everything is over, or does that mean we go to another label? We hadn't talked to any other labels yet. We hadn't even talked to a label in that situation. We talked to a guy who was talking to a label. We never had nothing on paper. There never was a proposal in black and white for us to look at. It was just a conversation. He didn't like how the conversation went. So he decided, them, we're going to go do this.
Playing devil's advocate, right? Do you feel like,
White devil's advocate.
White devil's advocate. We know Joe is doing well with his content, creating everything that he's doing. You're obviously doing well. Could it be a situation where maybe Joel and Crooked weren't doing as well because the group was so much financial for them? I mean, y'all were going on tours. I don't think y'all ever really got the money that y'all deserved yet. Do you feel like maybe that was their way of saying, look, I got to feed my family at the end of the day?
Possibly. And I mean, listen, that makes it even worse because it's like, bro, if that's what it was, who are you supposed to have been talking to? I understand the ups and downs. So if this is a down time, because there's been plenty of things that I've done because one of my rules in the group was I'm not doing any 3-man shows. All members got to be there. There's been plenty of times Joe couldn't make it where they were like, yo, listen, we need you to come do this because we need the money, and I did it.
Like, Royce is gonna be political. It was a bad deal.
There were times when Joe was ready to rap and we couldn't get Crook to rap. They don't talk about that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like,
why couldn't Crook rap? Crook always ready to rap.
Crook didn't want to know. See what I'm saying? See, people got the wrong impression about people, and that's why Joe is easy to paint as a certain thing.
He's an easy target.
Yeah, and Crook and Joel look like the blue collar guys.
Correct.
The guys who willing to roll their sleeves up, all that. Crook, he had his ways about him the whole time. He always had some issue with Joe that he wouldn't address. It was always in the air. I can't quite put my finger on what that was, but this nigga that made Joe diss records, he done did all type of shit. You know what I'm saying? People just didn't hear him. And there was a time where he was like, nah, I ain't rapping. Nobody went out and put out an album about him not rapping and saying that the group is over with. It's messy. And then on the business side, it's like, yo, you're not up our shit, you up your shit too. And then, like during the whole process, you had to paint me in a certain light in order to be able to do that. And I'm just trying to figure out what did I do to deserve that.
Yeah, and I mean, there's no reconciling because I heard people getting invited to the Frank stand.
I never did.
Didn't somebody say SMD on one of those calls?
Oh no, Joe. No, Joe.
One of those, I was like,
Joe said Frank stand.
Joe said that project at SMD. He said that project.
Yeah, that project can suck my. Yeah. Well, maybe it was the project. So yeah, maybe that's not.
That's just when I started seeing all that, I was like, you know what? Enough.
That was just some Joe to say though. You know what I'm saying? Like it wasn't like Joel know how Joe talk. You know what I mean? So that wasn't really nothing. That was one of them things where you can take it. You can take it super offensive and personal if you choose to. But Joel said a lot of weird stuff too. You know what I mean? Like everybody played their part. I'm holding myself accountable for the part that I played too. You know what I mean? But I mean, it's a little.
What part
late.
did you play? You think?
I mean, you making it hard for me because I don't do much wrong, Charlamagne. I did that thing that I was talking about. I went on Joe's show and I was frustrated, and my reaction to what they did caused Crook to react to how I reacted. What he said made me block him. It made me block him on social media and made me block his number because I love him too much and I don't want nothing else to get said that's gonna put me up there. You know what I mean? So, and I don't feel like there's anything that should go on in the rap space that should even bring you to that. You know what I mean? But we all guarding something. You know what I mean? Like we all guarding, whether it's our egos. We come from environments where the measuring stick, the cool is some souped up tough guy. You know what I mean? Like everybody's like, watch how you talk to me, respect me, but everybody ain't being so respectful.
I get
you know, so.
Well, we appreciate you brothers for joining us.
Good to see y'all, brothers.
It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The Breakfast Club. This is the Rumor Report with Angela Yee on the Breakfast Club.
So listen up.
All right, well, the responses are rolling in to If I Get Caught Cheating by division, and here's Candy and Tiny's response.
Payback won't be right now, so I suggest that you pipe down, or I'll go out and get piped down. Come back to see you for a wipe down. If dirty, looking or cheating, what makes you think I'll stay with you? If you get caught cheating, what makes you think I want to? What makes you think I want to? I'll pack your shit up, cause of that one love book. Oh, you wanna play game?
Okay, response.
We knew that was coming. Huh?
That was a good one. Come back for a white down. Hurts. All right. Now, Carisha, a.k.a. Young Miami, was on social media clearing up some rumors. She had put on Twitter, I'm really having a mental breakdown right now. Haven't slept in days, like I'm tired AF and don't feel like doing nothing today. My energy is off. She went on Instagram Live over the weekend to clear up any misunderstanding about what she's going through. And here's what she said.
I had a mental breakdown because of some shit that I was going through in my personal work life, like about work, like some shit I was going through. It had nothing to do about a man. Y'all really think I'm that but we have a breakdown about a man and get on the internet and tweet it? It's never that deep. Like, people go through real life. Y'all really get on the internet, make things up, and then be hard down arguing in the comments about it. Like, oh yeah, no, y'all don't know me. Shut up and stop speaking for me. Like, y'all can clearly see that I'm not my toes. That girl is like a whole light skinned girl. I am a brown skinned girl. That's not.
She was clearing up some rumors, so she was not having a mental breakdown over Diddy, because that's what people were saying. Then they were also saying those were her toes in the video. If you saw Kevin Gates looking on some toes, she said that's not her.
Well, it happens, man. And when it happens, you got to disconnect. The brain gets tired. Same way your body will let you know when you are physically exhausted, you could be mentally exhausted too.
All right. Now, here's another thing that happened. Kis Daniels, and he was just recently on The Breakfast Club. He was allegedly arrested in Tanzania after failing to show up for a paid concert there. And so fans were very upset. They actually went to the venue. He didn't show up. And then there was video that circulated of them trashing the show's venue. That video did trend. And then there was a video of him being led into a police vehicle. So here is what happened when he missed the show.
I beg for this. Kizania, you going for it. You going for it. You cause the damage to this country. You must go in for it.
So people were upset that he didn't do it. And if you recall, when he was on The Breakfast Club, he was explaining a show that he was 5 hours late for in the DMV, and people were very upset when that happened. But he gave his explanation up here. Here's what he said happened in that situation.
So I got my passport on that day, got on the plane that same day. Just me. Now, the rest of my team back home, like the management, no one got their visa, just me. Mm-hmm. So I traveled all by myself.
Oh, my gosh. Wow. You really tried to make it.
I went straight on stage.
Wow.
With the same outfit I traveled with.
And you might be in your own head about it too much, like, because the audience might have loved it.
Trust me, they did not love it.
They were throwing things at the stage and everything.
No, they were not booing. No,
but they were mad because they were mad that you were late. That's all.
But I'm saying, once you got there, they weren't enjoying the show?
They loved the show.
Okay.
Thing is,
the tweets.
The tweets.
Gotcha.
And it wasn't long enough. I think
they just wanted more.
Yeah, they wanted a longer show.
But the venue was like, we have to shut you down.
Now, that's two different incidents, right?
Yeah, this was when I said he was in the DMV, and he was late for that show, 5 hours late. This incident was in Tanzania. He didn't show up at all, and they're saying that he got arrested for not showing up. People were paying like $5,000 for a table, and so people were throwing bottles. They were very upset about that. So I'm sure at some point we'll find out what really happened, but Twitter was going crazy over his no-show. All right, now let's talk about Kanye. As you know, he posted Skeet Davidson dead at age 28, and then in smaller print underneath it, it's like a fake cover of the New York Times. Kid Cudi meant to play funeral, but fearful of bottle throwers. And so this is all following reports that Kim Kardashian and Pete Davidson have broken up. Well, Pete Davidson, according to Page 6, has been in trauma therapy largely due to Kanye's attacks on social media. An insider also told people the attention and negativity coming from Kanye and his antics is a trigger for Pete, and he's had to seek out help. And according to other reports, sources are saying that Pete Davidson proposed to Kim Kardashian before their breakup. before she ended their 9-month relationship, and everything was just moving too fast. Kim wanted to slow things down, and instead Pete proposed. He is devastated. Everyone warned him that he was going to push her away, but he didn't listen. Remember, this is the same guy that proposed to Ariana Grande after just a few weeks. Pete learned nothing from that relationship. He falls hard and he falls fast.
You know, posting that Pete passed away is lame as hell, because I feel like if you're not ready to die, why would you play with death? You shouldn't wish anything on anyone that you wouldn't want to happen to you. And is he going to do this to every single person that Kim dates in the future?
Probably.
Like, because you can't, because you set the precedent. So now you're going to do this to every single person that she dates?
Which is wild, because he's dating other women.
Yeah, what if Kim harassed them?
I don't get it.
She would never. And rest in peace to Olivia Newton-John. Since we just said that, people are devastated that she has passed away at the age of 73. We know her from starring in the classic movie Grease. Mm-hmm. And so if y'all don't know Grease, here's a classic song. See you down the road and we will all be together again. Yours from the moment I saw you and forever. You're Danny, you're John.
She wasn't one of the Pink Ladies in Grease, right?
She joined the Pink Ladies at the
end. She did?
Yeah, at the end she ended up joining them because remember they were trying to get her in.
Yeah.
And she was like kind of nerdy. They were making fun of her. And then at the end, she ended up being cool and smoking a cigarette.
Rizzo was the lead of the Pink Ladies, right?
Yeah, Rizzo was in it. Frenchie was in it.
All right, guys.
I haven't watched that movie in a long time.
That movie's amazing. On Lip Service, we had a whole discussion with Godfrey. That's one of his favorite movies ever.
No, it is. It is. This takes on a whole new meaning, you know, as life goes on because of John Travolta, the whole Grease thing. But, you know.
My goodness.
Whole
All
other
right.
conversation.
That is your Rumor Report. The People's Choice mixes up next. Let's go.
The Breakfast Club. Your mornings will never be the same.
Leaving a child in a hot vehicle can lead to their death very quickly. Set cell phone reminders or place something you'll need in the back seat so you don't forget your child is in the car. Look for your baby before you lock. Paid for by NHTSA.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ Envy, Angela Yee, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. Again, I think there's 12 days left to my car show out in Atlantic City. Celebrity cars from, of course, Trader Truth, Lynn's Garage, Verse. Everybody in New York, man. 50 Cent, Fat Joe, Fabulous, Little Uzi, Meek Mill, Jim Jones, myself, DJ Clue, just to name some of the celebrity cars I will have. Kids 5 and under are free. We got amusement rides, so many different games for the kids. It's going to be a family fun day. If you haven't got your tickets, please get your tickets. We're going to have a lot of fun that day. My family meeting your family, gaming trucks and all that.
And listen, man, I want to tell everybody in Moncks Corner, South Carolina, this Saturday, August 13th from 2 to 5 p.m., I'm having my 6th annual back-to-school supply giveaway and fish fry. We got book bags, we got school supplies, and we got free plates of fried fish while supplies last. It's going to be at Berkeley High School, 406 West Main Street, Moncks Corner, South Carolina, from 2 to 5 p.m. this Saturday, August 13th. Pull up, first come, first served. You know how we do around this time, man.
Absolutely. Well, now you got a positive note?
Yes, I got a positive note, but I have one thing to say first and foremost. Salute to Anita Kopax, man. Anita Kopax, she put out a book on my book imprint, Black Privilege, Simon & Schuster Publishing. It's called Shallow Waters, a love letter to Yemi Ya. That book is available in paperback today.
Nice.
Okay, today. The hardcover's been out for like a year, but the paperback has been released today. Okay, so Shallow Waters, a love letter to Yemi Ya. We changed the cover up a little bit too. The cover is blue now. It was like a red before, but it's blue now. Shallow Waters, a love letter to Yemi Ya. Available everywhere you buy books. It's on Amazon, Barnes and Nobles, wherever you get books. So salute to Anita Kopax and make sure you go grab that paperback of Shallow Waters today. Now, the positive note is simply this. Unless you're beyond any judgment, what you think you're seeing as the other is usually a projection of yourself.
Breakfast Club, bitches!
Y'all finished or y'all done?